Ink Ribbon.
So I finally went back to the comments in my first video and read what you guys voted for in terms of music tracks, and I was not disappointed. So today we're looking at another top 10 music tracks in Resident Evil, this time voted on by your comments. So grab a comfy pair of headphones and make yourself a nice drink, cause here is your list of the top 10 music tracks in Resident Evil.
Number 10.
Well Dressed Up. Resident Evil has always been known for having characters with style, and this track starts off this list by encapsulating not only the seductive vibes of Jill removing clothing and sliding on pantyhose, but also captures that feeling of despair that lingers just outside the boutique. What would normally be a fun shopping experience has now lost all its joy, with this track almost providing a sense of guilt as Jill is partaking in a luxury while the city is in chaos. It's a beautiful track for a beautiful lady in a desperate situation.
Number 9.
Leon with Claire. The only thing more horrible than having to enter the world of survival horror is having to do it alone. Claire and Leon are separated at the start of Resident Evil 2 and have no way of knowing if the other is okay or even made it to the police station. That's when this track instills the overwhelming relief you feel when Leon and Claire are reunited and safe. While it does provide relief, it also provides a sense of sadness. Sadness for the horrors they've seen, sadness for the people who have died, and sadness for the realization that Chris isn't here, making Claire's journey to Raccoon City almost in vain and leaving them both to wonder if they're going to make it through the night.
Number 8.
Resident Evil 0 Save Theme. We all know Rebecca is the sweetest of all the Resident Evil characters, so it should be no surprise how well the save theme in Zero suits her. It almost seems to repeat affirmations of "it's gonna be okay" over and over, most likely reflecting the thoughts going through her head. As an added bonus, the first time you listen to this track is on the train, with the sounds of rain hitting the glass in the background, providing one of the most relaxing and somber save room experiences in the franchise.
Number 7.
Guardhouse 1. Throughout Resident Evil 1, you are exploring a weird mansion, solving obscure puzzles, obtaining creepy key items, and unraveling a big mystery. This track encapsulates all of those feelings perfectly. Utilizing bells, chimes, and strings, this track builds while also going around in circles, just like everyone does during their first playthrough.
Number 6.
Sherry's Theme. It can be hard to remember what things look like in the eyes of a child, especially scary things, but this tune helps to remind us that Sherry is just a little girl. Confused, scared, but more than anything, innocent. This track is especially poignant when Sherry is with Claire. It is also almost a bit haunting, changing to a more somber tone on a couple parts to incorporate the reminder that this child still needs protecting.
Number 5.
Rust in Summer. Okay, this track wasn't in the comments, but I had to include it because most players haven't heard it, which is a shame. This is the track that plays during the Slayers mode in Resident Evil 5, and it can unleash the secret techno dance freak hiding in any Resident Evil player. Obviously, this is an upbeat song to keep your heart pumping as the action builds, but it is also reminiscent of older Resident Evil music, like sped up nostalgia or something. It also reminds me a lot of the techno that was popular during the early 2000s, and it is definitely worth a listen to if you're into that type of music.
Number 4.
Unfortunate Event. Raccoon City's destruction was the single most catastrophic event in all of the franchise, and this bone-chilling theme makes the gravity of what happened very clear. An entire city has been erased, and over 100,000 lives with it. Somber, with a sense of duty and justice, we can't help but feel what Jill must be feeling. Umbrella really has gone too far, and she's one of the only people who can help take them down.
Number 3.
Left Alone. Anytime you examine a window or door leading out of the RPD, you are greeted with the same warning. It's too dangerous to go outside. This tune is that same warning, but ushering you into the relative safety of the police station instead. You may be safe there, but for how long? The strings do a great job of invoking that nervous fear that around any corner you might run into a new danger. But using horns and drums, the rest of the track reminds you to be brave and keep going.
Number 2.
Nemesis Theme. Probably one of the most iconic themes in all the franchise, any seasoned Resident Evil player knows exactly what this song means. It means, he's coming for you. What really makes this track special is not just that it means the Nemesis has found you, but also, he was the first enemy to follow you between rooms, sometimes when you least expected it. So when you were peacefully solving a puzzle and this track came on, you were trained to immediately stop what you were doing and run for your life, permanently cementing the track into our collective minds.
Number 1.
Resident Evil 2 Save Theme. The overwhelming majority of your comments mentioned how great the save theme in Resident Evil 2 was, and I cannot argue. The theme fits perfectly with the image of scanning through important files, reloading your weapons, and of course, typing up your save. Utilizing familiar chimes, bells, and strings, this theme doesn't just sound good, but is also reminiscent of the front hall theme of the RPD, creating a connection to it throughout the game, and always taking you back to that first room you were able to stop and catch your breath in. And there you have it. Thank you all for the great suggestions. I hope you enjoyed this list. If there's a song that you feel should have been on this list, be sure to check out my first video on the top 10 tracks in Resident Evil. The link to that will be in the description. But that's it for this video. Are there any tracks that you still think deserve to be mentioned? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.